Alright guys, back again. This time we are going to do the web client of vSphere. We're going to be setting up Linux real quick. Like the other two videos, we're going to want to remember vSphere's IP address is going to be 10.10.741. The gateway is 10.10.7.1, and our two DNS servers are 10.12.1.11 and 10.12.1.12 respectively. Alright, so we're going to go over to our web browser. I'm using a Mac right now, so I'm going to go up here to 10.10.741. So it's going to bring me into the vSphere landing page here. I'm going to go log into vSphere web client. It's going to load up, and in a second I should be able to log in. Alright, now I'm ready to log in. So I'm going to log in with my username. Getting in. Alright, so now that I'm in, as you can see, it looks a little bit different, but we're going to go ahead and go and make this VM. So we're going to go to vCenter here. We're going to hit VMs and templates. HC Preflex capping, your teacher, and for mine, I'm in this group here. So I'm going to find my folder. I'm going to click on my folder. So right here we can create a virtual machine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to create my VM. Alright, so we're going to hit create a new virtual machine, hit next. It has mine. If I were to select any of these other ones, it's not going to allow me to enter there. So I'm going to make my name as Linux test. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. We want to select 10.10.730. Select my storage, which is going to be the capping VM. We want it compatible with iSCSI 5.5. So we're going to hit continue. Our guest OS, this is where we're going to decide whether we want Windows or Linux. So I'm going to choose Linux. And I'm going to choose, if I can find it, Ubuntu 64-bit. So I'm going to hit next. And this should be where it lets me customize. Okay, so I'm going to hit down. I want 2 CPUs, but I need to open this because what this is going to give me is 2 CPUs. I don't want 2 CPUs, I want 2 cores. So where it says cores per socket, sockets are the amount of CPUs. Cores are, as you should know, the amount of cores. So right now I have 2 CPUs with 1 core each. I want 1 CPU with 2 cores, or with 2 cores in it. So I can now close that. For memory, I want 2 gigabytes. I'm going to open that. There's nothing really that I need in here. You can do it in terms of gigabytes or megabytes. So I'm just going to have 2 gigs here. I am going to now go to the CD and floppy disk. So I'm going to open this. I'm going to have this drop down, hit data store and ISO files, and it should bring up a little pop-up here. So we hit capping VMs, ISO files, I want Ubuntu server. I'm going to do the Ubuntu desktop. Hit OK. And I want to connect this on power on. And that should be fine. Now I'm going to hit next. And I'm going to hit finish. Now I'm going to drop down my folder and it should be here. So right now I'm going to power on the VM. Now if I go over to summary, I'll see my VM here. And I can launch the console. Okay, so I was having some trouble getting it loaded in Safari, so I switched over to Chrome here. So, it's just like it was in the other tutorial. We got to click in, and once we click into the VM, we can go ahead and continue. If you want more on installing Linux, go ahead and watch the first part of this series. And you can set up the network also.